Welcome to another edition of 10 Minutes With. It's our Thanksgiving week edition. Kate's starting the timer, even though it doesn't really matter. You've seen the show before. We start the timer just to go, for the sake of starting the timer. But although last week we did only go like 12 minutes, Kate, that was shocking.
Yeah, were you feeling okay?
No, I wasn't. I think. And I left in the. That clip at the end, I left it in last week's episode, just like my shocked reaction to keeping it close to 10 minutes. But anyway, our guest today, you can tell from his background, is involved with the show Pro Lacrosse Talk, but that's not why he's here. He also hosts another show called The Sports Profession and is new to StadiumScene.tv. Please welcome Hutton Jackson. Welcome to the show.
Thank you guys for having me. Appreciate it.
How's New Jersey?
Jersey's not bad. Yeah, I mean, as far as COVID goes, it's one of the stricter states. So I've been working remote, so it's not too bad. I've had to get tested a few times and have been fine, knock on wood. So that's been good. But living in New Jersey is not bad. It gets a bad rap. I'm a transplant of New Jersey. I grew up in Virginia and kind of moved around a little bit too. But everyone gives Jersey a bad rap. But we got beaches. We're close to the city. Whether that be New York City or Philadelphia. So, I like my time in Jersey, and the drivers, people tend to complain about the drivers, but I think they're the best because they get to where you need to go and they know how to drive. A little aggressive, but I guess that's kind of how I am. So, Jersey's been good though.
What do you think of Jersey Shore?
I'm near the Jersey Shore. Now, this TV show, Jersey Shore, not a fan of that show. Has nothing to do with what the actual Jersey Shore is like. Apparently those people weren't even from the Jersey Shore. Again, I'm not from the Jersey Shore either, but that I'm not a big believer in that show. But if people like it, they can like it. But if that's your opinion of Jersey, I think you need to come and check it out. Get some Jersey bagels, visit the beaches. I'm in the Ocean County area, so I'm a little bit more north. Probably where they're
more north. That was actually
my But even the beaches down south, like the Wildwood, I'm not sure where they went. They might have been like Seaside Heights or Seattle City. I forget where they had that show. But again, don't base it off your opinion on Jersey off the show, in my opinion.
Are they letting you pump your own gas yet, or do you still have to have a professional?
They are not, and that would be on my anti-Jersey list. Is I do like to just pump my own gas. Unfortunately, I get there and they're usually pretty quick, but sometimes you wait, and I'm just like, I could just get out and pump it myself in 49 other states. Why can't I just do it here? But you learn to live with that a little bit.
Oregon used to be, but I believe they recently changed the law. But the last time I went to Oregon, it was still the attendant.
Oh, okay.
Gas, and I didn't know this. And I get out of the car, and the guy comes around. I was like, "Sir, you need to get back in your car. You're not allowed to touch this equipment." I'm like, "I'm not from this state. Trust me, I know how to use." "No, you can't touch it, sir. You need to get back in your car." I'm like, "Okay."
I will say I have a friend from Jersey that's now living in Pennsylvania. And even when he's back in Jersey, he's like, I don't listen to them. I just go and pump my own gas. And he's a big, loud guy, so I guess it works for him. But yeah, it's encouraging that Oregon has changed because I'm hoping that Jersey will change. Again, it creates jobs, which is important. But again, you can do it in all the other states. To me, you can find other jobs with the gas station, have them do some other things, while allowing me to pump my own gas. That's my opinion, but I don't want that to be about the whole show.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see a timer check.
We're at 4 minutes.
Right. We're definitely going over today. So, again, the show, The Sports Profession. Why did you start this show?
So I started the show because I work in sports. I'm a video editor. I do work with the MLB Network and NHL Network. And I really enjoy my time there, and I enjoy meeting other people in the sports industry because I feel pretty blessed that I kind of found my way into the sports industry, and it's a fun industry to be in. I mean, you guys are in it as well, being podcasters. So I kind of, saw my, LinkedIn and my list of contacts. I'm like, I could maybe do a show where I'm interviewing other people in the industry, kind of serve as, a networking tool, but also kind of help people that were maybe in my shoes a few years back, trying to break into the sports industry. So that's kind of why I started it. And so far I've had 7 guests with 8th on the way. And, it's been great not only interviewing people that I may have had a relationship with. I've had my uncle on and some of my friends, but also people I've never met before too that are in the industry and reaching out to them. So that's kind of been cool. Just being able to connect with other people that do various different jobs, not just in the media realm, but sometimes operations as well.
So what should a new listener expect to hear on an episode?
They should expect a show about more of the sports industry of things, not really sports talk, but there's going to be some sports talk sprinkled in. I had my friend Grace, who is down in Tampa. So we definitely talked about the Lightning, the Rays, and the Buccaneers. I wish I had her on now with the news about the Raptors now going to play in Tampa. And who else? I had my friend who covered not only the Capitals Stanley Cup, but the Mystics WNBA championship and the Nationals World Series title. So we talked about that too. I'm a big DC sports fan, DC Baltimore sports fan. So I had to get that in there. So you'll hear a good mix of kind of some life lessons that they've learned throughout their career, as well as some current event sports talk as well when it's relevant. But that's what people can kind of expect.
Before Kate jumped in, I was going to say something and you ruined my. Oh no, I know what I was going to say. Now you say that we're in the industry and you're in the industry too. No, like you worked your way in the industry. We're kind of banging on the window trying to force our way in, our own way. We've got our own battering ram, and it's definitely unique having not gone into a traditional route, whether it's talk radio or television or working for a club or a university's athletic department, kind of coming in as these outsiders, forcing your way in. It's been a strange experience, I have to say. But the thing is, like, even though people could see us as kind of trampling on their feet, like I don't personally see it that way, but I can see somebody seeing it that way. And generally we're not seeing that kind of resistance. We've been embraced pretty well up to this point, which is awesome and says a lot about the people in this industry.
No, absolutely. And I think that's important too, is because it is such a, it's a tough industry to kind of break into, but there's a lot of avenues to get into it. So I think like kind of what you guys are doing, I never like look down on stuff like that because, that's kind of how you break in. I mean, I was fortunate enough that I, went through an apprenticeship program, which is where I landed my video editing job now. But, my podcast is a lacrosse podcast, has nothing to do with MLB or NHL. Now the sports profession podcast that I've launched on your guys' network is, more just the sports industry and interviewing other professionals. But, that's all stuff I did on my own. And I think, you guys are a testament to that too, is like just going in and doing something on your own and starting your own venture, starting whether it's a podcast, a blog, anything of that nature, I think is kind of a testament of, how people get into the sports industry. It's a grind. And I think that's how people, get in. It's not, you're never going to get the magical, like, here's a job offer type of thing. You're going to have to work your way in, whether it's, interning or whatever. And that's kind of, what my podcast is about too, is just the different ways that you get in. And all the people I've talked to, they didn't get where they were at by, only doing one thing. Usually they're jack of all trades. They do a lot of different things. And then eventually, they get skilled at maybe more one thing. But, the person I talked about, Grace, is a sports anchor in, I think, a top 15 network now. And she's still going out and filming her own stuff, writing her own script. So a lot of it is just, again, being willing to put in the work and be a Swiss Army knife.
And we see plenty of cases on social media of people trying to break in, and they're, I'm working the ticket office today, and tomorrow I'm getting beaten up by little kids trying to hand out little souvenirs to them at the table inside the front entrance. And it's tough. It is very, very tough.
No, absolutely.
So since we're talking about people breaking in, you see what I did there? They're like rookies, right? What's a piece of advice that you would give to a rookie podcaster?
I would just say, just start if you're thinking about starting. And that's the first step. When I first started my Pro Lacrosse Talk podcast, I did it with my friend. And we just started, we didn't know what we were doing. But there's so many resources out there, and it's easy to do, in an inexpensive way. You can pay for a hosting site. There's other free ways. I use Anchor, which is a free platform. I think your guys' platform is another great thing to do, because then you can connect with people and you get guests on your podcast. And I think that's the biggest thing too, is not being afraid to start and then reach out to people to come on your show. Because you'd be surprised that there's a lot of people that are willing to come on your show, even if you don't have that big of a following at first. And that's really how you start to get your name out there, is just reaching out to people and inviting them on and making those connections.
So, Kate, you want to take the last one since I've been the derailer today?
Where can people find you?
You can find me at Hutton Jackson, and then my podcast at The Sports Pro Pod on Twitter, and then The Sports Profession on Instagram. I'm the Hutton Jackson on Instagram. I don't really use my personal Instagram too much, but I'm very active on Twitter. Reach out to me on those platforms. Also, you can find me on LinkedIn too if you search there. The big thing with The Sports Profession is I kind of want it to grow into a networking tool where young professionals can actually get in contact with my guests and stuff. So that's kind of how I'm setting it up. So feel free to reach out to me. If you listen to the podcast and there's a guest that you liked and you want to learn more from or connect with, I can try to help facilitate that as well, because that's kind of what I'm trying to do too, is kind of give back a little bit and help people get on the right path to get into the sports industry.
And DJ, where can we find us?
I don't know.
I figured much.
No, but real quick before we sign off, I really want to throw a shout out to Mark Lawson at the Game Day Tourist. Mark is actually the one who introduced us, and Mark also plugging his show. We're trying to get him to come on. He's like, well, if you have nobody else, I'll come on. No, don't, man. But Mark, he runs his podcast. You met Mark, and we're really appreciative of the networking that the people inside this group are doing for us, and we're thrilled to have you aboard.
No, thank you. And yeah, again, thank you to Mark too, because he reached out to us for our lacrosse knowledge to go on his podcast. And I love what he's doing too, because again, it just goes to show to the different avenues you can take. He's taking the approach of, people going to different cities and fan events and kind of the fandom around sports. And we were appreciative to be on his podcast and thankful that he made the connection and that, we were able to connect, because I really am excited to, I've only had, I think, one episode out since I've been on Stadium Scene, but I have one coming out soon as well. And again, I'm excited about, just connecting with you guys and a bunch of other people on this platform.
Awesome. And yes, Kate got us banned from Mark's show. It's her fault.
Oh, really?
I don't regret anything.
No regrets.
Baseball player butts are definitely a topic.
Although we did go on a show recently where we did not get ourselves banned from it, so that's a good start. So we're now 1 for 3.
There you go. Yeah, I don't think I've ever been a recurring guest, so I don't know if I have been banned. Maybe I've been on a silent ban that I don't know about, but but thank you guys again for having me on. I'd love to have you guys on too. I have one coming up. I've been doing like every other week because it's just too much doing weekly, especially with the other stuff I have going on. But I'll definitely reach out once I have something open. Right now, I think I have 2 lined up, so I'm not really thinking farther than that. But I'll let you guys know for sure.
We'll definitely take you up on that. So.
All right, awesome. Yeah, I won't ban you either.
Yay!
Yes, the gloves are off. No.
Yeah.
So, Hutton, thank you for coming on. Hutton Jackson, host of The Sports Profession and Pro Lacrosse Talk, as you can see behind him. So for signing off today, check us out at stadiumscene.tv. Join the network. Give us a follow at Stadium Scene on Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest, and at Stadium_Scene on Instagram. And we will see you next time.